manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie.
That's right, Michael.
The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that.
I'm not just fighting for myself, I'm fighting for all artists. Those great artists who pioneered, entertainment business, as well as songwriting, as well as incredible staging. The fact that they have been taken by the system, totally broken them financially. And this has to stop this conspiracy.
They made and created so much joy for the world. And the system, meaning the record companies, totally took advantage of it. And it's not like they always say, they built a big house, they spent a lot of money, they bought a lot of cars. That's stupid, it's an excuse. That's nothing compared to what artists make. And I just need you to know that this is very important, what we're fighting for. Because I'm tired, I'm really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth. They're liars. And they manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie.
That's right, Michael.
The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that. The minute I started breaking the all-time record in record sales, I broke Elvis's records. I broke Beatles' records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight, they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me. This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that.
You can't win, you can't make even, and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they look just like they're staying the same. You get in with over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. You can win time, can't break even.
Michael was treated like a slave on a plantation because of a charge that has yet to lead to a criminal charge. But here's a human being that had to be made to strip, forced in a judge's search order, that if he didn't strip, they had the right to be violent with him and force him to reveal his nakedness, that they may take pictures of him in that manner. That to me says that no matter how big Michael is, to those who look at us with our money, with our Mercedes-Benz, with our fine homes and our fine cars and our prominent positions in life, you're nothing but a nigger, and if you get out of your place, I will have to put you back in your place.
I do not tell you just to gain your sympathy, but to impress upon you in my important point. It is not just Hollywood child stars that have suffered from a non-existent childhood. Today is a universal calamity, a global catastrophe. Childhood has become the great casualty of modern-day living. All around us, we are producing scores of kids who have not had the joy, who have not been accorded the right, who have not been allowed the freedom of knowing what it's like to be a kid. Today's children are constantly encouraged to grow up faster, as if this period known as childhood is a burdensome stage to be endured and ushered through as swiftly as possible. And on that subject, I am certainly one of the world's greatest experts. Ours is a generation that has witnessed the abrogation of the parent-child covenant. Psychologists are publishing libraries of books detailing the destructive effects of denying one's children the unconditional love that is so necessary to the healthy development of their minds and characters. And because of all the neglect, too many of our kids essentially have to raise themselves. They are growing more distant from their parents, grandparents, and other family members, as all around us the indestructible bond that once glued together the generation unravels. This violation has bred a new generation, Generation O. Let's call it Generation O, that has now picked up the torch from Generation X. The O stands for a generation that has everything on the outside: wealth, success, fancy clothing, and fancy cars, but an aching emptiness on the inside. That cavity in our chest, that barrenness at our core, that void in our center, is the place where the hearts once beat and which love once occupied. It's not just the kids who are suffering, it's the parents as well. But the more we cultivate little adults in kids' bodies, the more removed we ourselves become from our own childlike qualities.
Let me just say this. The tradition of great performers and I really want you to hear what I have to say. The tradition of great performers from Sammy Davis Jr. to James Brown to Jackie Wilson to Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. The story is usually the same though. You know, these guys work really hard at their craft, but the story ends the same. They usually are broken, torn, and usually just sad, and the story is very sad in the end because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And Sony, being the artist that I am at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer myself would outthink them.
Yeah!
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.